Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is a two-story video, so be sure to stick around for the second story as well. The first one is titled, Me with My Wife After 8.5 Years, 2 Months Married, She Cheated, Divorce or Discuss. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Let's get right into it. I am currently in a bad situation, and I'm not sure if I'm really doing the right thing. By the way, this is my first post here, so please excuse me if I'm missing any details. Feel free to ask. So let's begin with my current situation. I am in a relationship since 8.5 years with my wife. After I proposed to her during our trip to America in August of 2015. We married legally on April of 2016 and in church on September of 2016. We went to our honeymoon 2 weeks after the wedding, departure November 2016. During this time, I noticed for the first time that she's always texting on her phone and tries to hide her phone, or shut off the display when I try to look who she's writing to. When I asked her, she was always texting her friends or sister. This got me suspicious, and with the beginning of our second week, I took her phone while she was asleep. First time ever for me. I really trusted her. And that's how I found out that the woman I thought I loved, that I married 1 month prior, was cheating on me with someone else. Detail: it's the cook where she works, so they see each other daily during the week. As we still had to stay together for the rest of the week and our flight home, I didn't bring up the argument because I didn't want to fight over it on our honeymoon. I have no idea how I managed that. After further investigation, when we came home, I found out the relationship started at the end of November 2015, so after our engagement, but way prior to our wedding. I have no idea why she didn't bring it up to me, as we had plenty of time to cancel our wedding, and somehow I didn't notice it until it was too late. I didn't discuss this with my wife until now, so she doesn't know that I know, but I think she suspects that I might suspect something. We still have to choose our photos for our wedding album, and we still have to write all the thank you letters for the gifts we received. That's why I didn't discuss this argument until now. But I am dying inside, and I have to do something about this situation. In fact, I'm informing myself if I can kick her out of our house, we rented it together, the contract shows both names, and if our wedding can be legally cancelled or if I have to divorce. Relevant detail: the other guy is separated from his wife and has 2 children in their teens. He's not divorcing her right now, as they have some loans to pay back. Also, they constantly talk about how much they love each other and they would like to live with their love on 100%, but they can't right now. As far as I know, the plan is for her to have children with me, as the other guys already had some. And then, when he's ready, divorced or whatever, they will be together. My point is that I feel guilty for thinking about divorce not more than 2 months after our wedding, as we had a big party and received a lot of gifts, but I can't really go on like this. I don't even know what I'm expecting from you guys. Maybe I need confirmation I'm doing the right thing to leave here and get divorced. Thank you for any advice you would bring up, best regards. And the OP has some updates for us. Discussed the matter with the lawyer in our office who doesn't really know about the matter. Gave me contact information of someone who should be able to help. Going to call today/tomorrow and try to meet with her ASAP. I'll keep you guys updated about how this will proceed. In the meantime, thank you all for your support. I talked to the lawyer, and he has to inform himself if having another relationship is illegally enough to call an annulment of the marriage. In all her years of divorcing people, it's the first time someone calls her so soon after the marriage. She felt terribly bad for me. However, she informs herself and will let me know in a few days what options I have. I'll let you know when she talks to me. I can call in for annulment within 6 months of the marriage. I therefore have some spare time to talk to the priest if there is a way to annul the wedding in the church. Also, this way I can first take my school exams next 2 weeks and then discuss all this calmly with my wife. Problem being, I have no idea how to begin this discussion with her. Just like, hey, I know you're cheating on me, sounds bad. As described on previous update, I can legally call for annulment of the marriage within 6 months. I also discussed with our priest, and apparently he's also able to call in for annulment, but he wanted me to first talk about this with my wife. Of course, he wasn't really proponed to call immediately for divorce, and wanted me to let my wife decide if she wants to stay with me or not, but I'm not really sure if I want to let her decide, because I don't think I can ever trust her again. The point is, I have no idea how I should begin this discussion with my wife and I know there's never the perfect moment, but maybe you can give me some advice on that matter. What to say, what not to say. Priest told me I should not talk about her faults. I should talk about how my feelings are hurt and how I feel bad about our marriage because it isn't real. I should not talk about forgiving. I should talk about me offering to help her. I should tell her enough so she knows that I know she's cheating on me, but not too much. Also, probably, it is better to meet first my lawyer to get an idea on the next steps. Also, talking about our house as we are renting together. Contract shows both names, and only then talk with my wife. And the first comment says, you might be able to get an annulment depending on the laws in your country, but the amount of time you have varies. Despite that, your wife is an absolutely terrible person and you shouldn't even be questioning whether or not you should leave her. You deserve to know what you were getting into prior to the marriage, and the fact that she married you while cheating on you makes her the biggest effing piece of ass I have actually heard about on here in a long time. And the OP replied, hi, thank you. I think this sums up what I needed to hear. I just don't really realize what is happening because it feels so incredible. Like this is stuff from which you can make a movie. And the next comment says, look into the annulment requirements for your country. You might be able to get an annulment. As for all this waiting of a wedding, I understand you might feel guilty, but you need to stop. You didn't do anything wrong. This marriage breaking up is her fault, and everyone else will learn that and not treat you any differently. This woman has been with you for nearly 9 years, and she was scumbaggy enough to cheat right after you guys got engaged and still go ahead and marry you. Tell her you know, break it off, kick her out, and look into annulments. Can I ask, are you particularly wealthy or well off enough for you to both be comfortable? Just wondering if she was waiting to get married so she could file for divorce and take half your money. She's already been vile enough, I'd be quite concerned why she married you. Talk to a lawyer. And the OP replied, I'm going to talk to our office lawyer today to see if he knows anything about it. Otherwise, I'll contact a specific lawyer to get some advice on how to proceed. About wealthiness, I'm not rich, I'm just about fine, as she is too. If she would work 100% as I do, she works 75% because her employer doesn't let her work more, she would earn more than me. My parents, on the other hand, are somewhat wealthy, but not exaggerated. I don't know if in English you can say super middle class, but anyway, everything I had before our marriage stays mine, and everything she had before our marriage stays hers. Everything received/bought after our marriage will be splitted. She also wouldn't inherit anything from my parents because it's my right to get it, and it was before we were married. And the next story is titled, Wife Cheated and Manipulated Our Kids. I don't know what to do. Let's get right into it. My wife and I have been married for 11 years. We have 2 children together. One is 10 years old and the other is 11. We were together for 15 years. I earn a decent living and earn up to $400,000 to $500,000 a year, but at times I have to do projects which require traveling. Our marriage was good with several ups and downs. In October of 2019, I had to travel to Europe for work. I stayed there for a month. When I got back from the work, everybody was a bit distant and cold towards me. They didn't come to receive me at the airport. I had to call an Uber. They ignored my talks and only communicated with me when necessary. I had doubts, so I asked my daughter why she's acting so rude towards me. She just said, "Hope you had fun at your business trip." This was out of her character. Few days pass and I am confused about the situation. I asked my wife multiple times about their behavior. She always said that they were tired of a long day at school. One night, I was checking my email on my family's iMac. As I was finishing my work, I noticed that my wife's account is logged in. I thought of opening messages. I saw that one of her colleagues was on the top. I opened their conversation and scrolled through the entire page, seeing their flirting, texting, and exchanging of pictures. They planned on meeting at hotels. Apparently, she had ended things with him because she was feeling too guilty about it. I confronted her. She cried and begged me to give her another chance. I had anger issues in the past, so I simply took a drive to my brother's house and spent the night there. Next day, when I came home, kids had already gone to school. She asked me to sit down on the couch to talk. She said that she was feeling alone at the time and he apparently made her feel special. I asked her about the timeline and said that if she lied, I would give her a divorce. She told me every detail. She had intercourse with him once at the end of the affair. She felt disgusted afterwards. She said she had too much guilt and ended things with him. I told her that I would divorce her. I contacted a lawyer and told him to start preparing the papers, as we had a prenup signed, so divorce was an easy option. I went to my room and opened my Mac to collect some proof for her infidelity. To my surprise, she had deleted all of it. Next day, she threatened me to not divorce her or she will take away our kids. She told them in the beginning of my work trip that I had an affair and had gone to see my girlfriend when in reality, I had gone for work. She made fake conversations of me and the other girl. She has also told them that I would leave them alone on the streets to be with my girlfriend. She had manipulated them so much that they were convinced that I was the bad guy. In our country, if parents get a divorce, then the custody of the children would be given to the parent by the kid's choice. I was helpless at this point. I canceled the divorce and proceeded to reconcile. It's been almost a year that I am going through this S. My kids don't respect me like they used to. They don't even show affection. My wife has been keeping the secret from my children. She has also been treating me like crap. Our bedroom is dead, and I haven't had intercourse in 7 to 8 months. Because of all the stress at home, I stay out of the home most of the time. I go home only to sleep at night. This led to an emotional connection with one of my colleagues for the past month. She's also divorced. Her husband cheated on her and left her for another girl in another continent. We have long talking sessions, dinners, and movie nights. I have been deprived of love and affection at my own home. I have told my wife to start showing affection. I try to kiss her, hug her, but I am always turned down. Last week, I got intimate with my colleague. This was the first time I had intercourse in 9 to 10 months. It was the best intercourse of my life. I have come here looking for an advice. Should I divorce my wife and be with my colleague? Or should I just live this double life? I have never been loved or appreciated in my home, but my colleague appreciates everything I do for her. If I leave my family, then my kids will think that their mom's claims were right. I will be the bad guy in the eyes of my kids for life. And the first comment says, you need to divorce. This fake relationship you have with your wife is not any better for your kids to be exposed to than a divorce would be. As far as your wife manipulating your kids, all I can say is tell them the truth. They unfortunately probably won't believe you today, but someday they will realize what their mom has done and you will be a family with them again. And the OP replied, there is no evidence left to prove her affair. And kids do not believe me, so I think that I would always be a bad guy in their eyes. And a commenter replied, the truth will come out eventually, don't let her win. And the OP replied, I'll file for divorce ASAP. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below what other subreddits you want me to cover.